Happy Krishna Janmashtami. I'm wishing you and your families a happy and blissful day, and happy Krishna Janmashtami. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna stories. Today we're going to be sharing with you a few Krishna stories by Amazingly Blissfully Divine. Chapter 1. The Divine Prophecy. Once upon a time there lived a cruel and evil-minded king named Kamsa. One day, while Kamsa was escorting Devaki and VASUDEV home from their wedding, all of a sudden a voice boomed out from the sky. "Why are you taking Devaki home? Don't you know that her 8th child is destined to kill you?" Chapter 2. Devaki and VASUDEV imprisoned. Immediately after the voice boomed out, Kamsa threatened to kill Devaki to save his life. VASUDEV begged Kamsa to spare Devaki's life and also promised to hand over each and every one of Devaki's children. Kamsa was pacified but immediately put Devaki and VASUDEV behind bars. Chapter 3. Krishna's Birth. After Kamsa put Devaki and VASUDEV behind bars and told the guards to guard the prison cell, every time Devaki gave birth to a child, the guards would inform Kamsa of the child's birth, and Kamsa would storm into the jail cell and kill the baby by dashing it against the wall. To Mathura, and console him with words of wisdom that everything will be over soon, i.e., Kamsa will meet his desired end. Chapter 6. Kamsa informed of Krishna transferred. Meanwhile, back in the cell, Kamsa gets informed of the 8th child being born. He immediately stumbled off his throne trying to get to Vasudev's cell. As soon as Kamsa tries to smash his infant niece against a stone slab, Yogamaya, in her 8-handed divine form, confuses, bewilders, perplexes, and scares Kamsa, revealing that his enemy is already born and transferred safe and sound. Chapter 7. The Deliverance of Putana. Kamsa was desperate to kill Krishna, so he sent for the fearful demoness Putana, who was always hankering for the blood of human children, and with that desire she came to kill Krishna. And even though she offered her poison-smeared breast to the Lord, she was granted the position of motherhood and attained the greatest achievement, hence deliverance. Chapter 8. Krishna takes what's his. Krishna, the eternal ruler of hearts, stole butter from the neighborhood, hence addressed as Makanchur, butter thief. Krishna stole hearts, Chitchur, that were pure and soft as butter, to teach us that our hearts should be spotless, with no room and space for anger, pride, greed, envy, hatred, and ego. Instead, we should have pure, blissful, eternal Krishna prema, love. Chapter 9. NALAKUVARA and MANIGRIVA. One day, Yashoda had had enough of Krishna's pranks, so she tied him to a mortar. In order to escape from the clutches of the rope, he crawled between two arjun trees until the mortar got stuck in the gap. Taking advantage of this, he crawled harder until all of a sudden the two arjun trees came crashing down, and out popped NALAKUVARA and MANIGRIVA. Chapter 10. The Divine Cosmic Creation. Once when baby Krishna was playing, he stuffed a handful of mud in his mouth. So his cowherd friends informed Yashoda of this, and Yashoda came running to check if this was true. So she told Krishna to open his mouth. Initially he refused to, but when Yashoda gave him a stern look, Krishna obliged. What was revealed to Yashoda wasn't mud, but the entire cosmic creation. Chapter 11. The Deliverance of TRINAVARTA. Once, while Krishna was playing in the courtyard, the demon TRINAVARTA appeared in the form of a whirlwind and whisked Krishna far and high up into the sky, while the whole village was covered with dense clouds, after everything was being blown around hither and thither. All of a sudden, Krishna made his weight unbearably heavy, so that TRINAVARTA could hardly cope and tried to break free. That's when Krishna tightened his grip around TRINAVARTA's neck. And that's when TRINAVARTA came crashing down to the ground with a thunderous thud and met his maker. Chapter 12. The Demise of the Demon VATSASURA. Once, while Krishna, Balaram and his friends were playing on the banks of the river Yamuna, the demon VATSASURA infiltrated their camp in the form of a calf with the intention of harming Krishna. However, noticing the calf's odd and suspicious behavior, Krishna alerted Balaram. Then, while silently approaching the demon, Krishna grabbed hold of his hind legs, whipped him around violently and forcibly, and threw him high up into a tree. The demon then fell down to the ground and lay there lifelessly. Chapter 13. BAKASURA meets his maker. Once, while Krishna, Balaram and his friends were tending the cows, the demon friend of KAMSA, BAKASURA, stormed into the scene, swallowing Krishna whole. Immediately after feeling a burning and fiery sensation in his throat, BAKASURA was forced to release Krishna due to his glowing effulgence. BAKASURA still relentlessly pecked and continuously attacked Krishna. Krishna caught hold of the gigantic heron by the two halves of his beak and bifurcated his mouth, just as a child very easily splits a blade of grass, and putting an end to BAKASURA's misery. Chapter 14. AGHASURA seeks revenge. Having been instigated by KAMSA, AGHASURA, seeking revenge for the death of his sister PUTANA and his brother BAKASURA, decided to kill Krishna, his friends, and his herds of cows. He used his mystic powers to transform into a ginormous serpent and stretched his mouth to resemble a giant mountain cave, thus luring his targets inside. Chapter 15. The End of AGHASURA. Due to their adventurous nature, Krishna's friends wandered in voluntarily and confident that if anything unfavorable were to happen, Krishna would come to the rescue. After some deliberation, he also entered the mouth of the demon AGHASURA. While the demon was trying to kill Krishna and his companions, Krishna immediately expanded himself to choke AGHASURA. His big eyes moved violently and quickly suffocating AGHASURA's life air burst out of a hole in the upper part of his skull, thus ending AGHASURA's life.